Divi AI that good? Can it help launch our websites faster? Can Divi AI replace a copywriter? Are the images any good? This is what we're going to take a look at in today's video, and this is the Divi AI Review 2023. Let's dive in and let's take a look and see how we can get started with this. Now, to get Divi AI up and running on your website, the first thing you need to do after purchasing it is to come over here into your dashboard, go to Divi and click on Theme Options, and then you want to come over here to this last tab where you will need to add your username and API key. This is very important, otherwise your website will not be connected to Divi AI. So once you've done this, pretty much you are good to go. You can start using Divi AI. But I want to show you something that I found very fascinating. So I have a brand new page open here. Let's go in and add a text module. I'm going to click on text. And what I'm going to do here is I am going to hover over here, and you can see we have this little icon called AI. So I'm going to come over here and just say generate text. So I want this to just generate text and see what it comes up with. Now look at this. This AI has come up with this text, which I found very fascinating because this is pretty much what my website is about. This website is called Divi University, and the content it has here is relative to pretty much what I want to do on my website. So if we take a look here, it says introducing Divi University, the go-to destination for web designers who use Divi. Unlock the endless possibilities of web design, blah, 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 blah. Fantastic. I mean, this would have taken me time to come up with this. But the question is, how does Divi AI know about Divi University? And I'll show you the clue. So what you want to do if you want the Divi AI to learn your website is to come all the way down here to settings and then click on general. Next, what you want to do is to give the site title here. And in my case, it's Divi University. And then I've just given a basic tagline here, which says the ultimate resource for web designers who use Divi. This is just as basic as that. This is not very long. As you can see, that's all the text I have. But this was able to generate all this, and this is relevant. But of course, as you're using this on your website, you want to go in and tweak it. If you want to purchase Divi AI, I have a link in the video description below. Go ahead, check it out. I'm also giving you my own bonus. I'm working right now on Divi University. Divi University is going to be a platform for Divi users. It's going to have courses, it's going to have child themes, done for you templates, pretty much anything to do with Divi and web design is going to be there. So if you purchase Divi AI, you're going to get automatic access to that, and it's lifetime. Now let's continue on and take a look at the UI of Divi AI and how it was implemented into the Divi Builder. So let's close here. First things first, when you take a look here, we have this main button here, this big button here right at the top. I mean, you can't miss that. Now with this, there's also more things that we can do. If I come over here and say improve with AI, now look at all these options that I have. I have make it better, rephrase, lengthen, shorten, simplify, paraphrase, fix spelling and grammar. So let's put this to the test. Let's see if this really works. Okay, so let's take a look and see if this is going to help us with our spellings. So I'm going to click on this gear icon to go back into my text editor here. So the next thing I'm going to do is to click on the AI icon, but this time I'm going to say fix spelling and grammar. Click on that. Now let's take a look and see if this is going to pick it up. So first of all, it has gone in and fixed it. So you see here, like-minded has a double N. But if I come over here, like-minded now has been fixed right there. I also misspelled Divi University here, you can see. And then over here on the top, this has also been corrected. But I would have loved to see the AI highlight where it has pretty much, fixed the spelling, because right now I really have to go in and find it. Now, with this open, I also want to try out a few things. If I come over here to improve with AI, I'm going to say simplify and really see if this is going to change or reword the text. Yep, I think this looks much better. Now, let's continue on. So right now it's on simplify. Let's go back in. So this time I want to say shorten. So pretty much this is working really, really well. And over here we have our 3 results. I can cycle through these just in case I need to go back to my previous ones, which I generated. Now, what I also like is we can also come here and refine the result. So I can make it even more engaging if I need to. but there's a ton of options here. If I again click here on this shorten, I can also translate this into a totally different language. Unfortunately, I don't speak two languages. Otherwise, I could have gone in and tested to see if this is really an accurate translation. But since this is done by AI, surely if it's missing a few points here and there, this is going to improve with time. But it's good to see that, you know, there's so many languages here that we can go in and translate this into. Very exciting. Okay. Now, if you don't like what you have here, you can always go in and retry, which is also fantastic. Now, with all this, I was curious to see if this AI is really on all the modules. So I'm going to go in and try the very first few modules and see if it's really there. So let's close out of here and let's just save this for now. Now, what I'm going to do is to add a new full width section, and we're going to go with the full width header. Okay, great. So let's save this for now and let's drag it to the top here so we can see what we are doing. So now let's start by clicking here on this gear icon to go into my full header settings. So when I hover over here, wow, this is pretty cool. So I have the AI for my title. So I'm going to click here and I'm going to say write with AI. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to go ahead and generate text. I'm not going to spend so much time trying to give it all this information. But look at that. Just by clicking that, it has given me unleash your design potential. Again, it's relevant to my website. It knows that it's about design and it's picking this up. I'm pretty sure if the website is a restaurant website, it will be giving you ideas about food. But anyway, let's retry. Let's see what happens. So I like this. Let's go back. I think I just like the first one here, unleash your design potential. I can go ahead and say, use this text. Now we have this description text here. I'm going to click here on AI, write with AI. Again, I don't want to go in and give it any hints, but we can go in and tell Divi AI what you'd like to write about. So I'm just going to say, generate text. Okay, now this is a bit too long, so I definitely want to shorten this. And so I'm going to come over here to improve with AI. Then I can go in and shorten. So I'm going to go and say, use this text. And then over here is where I can go in and customize this. So I don't want the address there and the contact information, get rid of that. So I'm just going to leave this as it is. And now we have the button here to take a look at. And you can see here, the AI is also there. So it looks like everywhere where there's text, AI is there. So I have my button here and the content type, it says button. And by the way, if you're using the text module, you can click here on this drop down and you can choose either to write a paragraph, title, button, blog post, and social media post. It's really cool. So let's go back to our button here and I'm curious to see what suggestions I'm going to get here. So I'm going to say generate, start designing now. It's pretty cool. You can always retry. I mean, you know how it goes now. Okay, so I'm going to say use this text. And pretty much that's my button. Now I'm going to go ahead and customize my layout here. I'm going to center everything and then I'm going to make this full screen. So now it's really taking shape. I've got my main heading. I've got my description. I've got my button. Now, and this is very scary, I'm going to find an image that works for my background. So let's see how that works. So I'm going to come back over here to my content, go to background. Now let's see if Image AI is going to show here. I'm going to come over here to background image and sure enough, we have the AI. So if I click here and say generate automatically, I'm now curious to see what this is going to show up. Oh, here we go. So we have quite a few images here. And again, if you look at these images, you can see that they relate to web design. And I really like that. So let's say I'm going to go with this one here, and then I'm going to go ahead and say, use this image. Now, what's going to happen here is this image is going to be saved to my media library, which means I can always go back in and play around with it later. And I really like that. But one thing that I've just noticed straight away is the Apple logo here doesn't look very accurate. Of course, this is AI. I'm sure this is going to improve with time. But I mean, you can see there my image is right there. But let's say I want to go in and tweak this. So I'm going to go in and say improve with AI. And so I'm going to say add a flower. I'm just curious to see if this is going to really add a flower to the image that we already have. Oh, look at that. Well, I mean, to be honest, I wasn't expecting the flower to be on the actual screen. but it's pretty cool. I mean, look at this one here. It has added a flower right here in the corner and also on the screen and on the side there. So I really like this actually. So I'm going to say use this image. Now remember, this one here had pencils in that cup. Wow, this is awesome. Okay, so I'm going to go with that. But straight away, you notice that the picture quality here is not very good. So what you would need to do is to make sure that when you choose your images, you're going to choose an image and scale it if you need to. So let me show you how to do that. So I'm going to come over here. Let's add an image module. So with this AI, I'm going to say generate automatically just to save me time. So here I've generated my images. I mean, they don't look great, but the one thing that I see over here as well in this image AI is if you click here on photo, you also get these options. Right, do you see these? So you can go in and create digital art, concept art, 3D render, and so on. So this is really, really cool. I really like that we have so many options, just in case you want to design a website that is more artistic. What I really wanted to show you was the options that we get with Image AI. So if I click here on AI, I'm going to say generate with AI instead of doing it automatically. Now here we're going to get more features. Now you notice the difference? The first one was generate automatically, which just gives you the images that it generates automatically. But when you now go into generate image with AI, you now get all these options. So here we have square 1:1. We can also come over here to custom size. I really like this. So now we can say 1280 and then 720. So that's our custom size. Now here I can upload a reference image. Now this is pretty cool. If I come over here, okay, so I'm going to use my image here and see what comes out of this. Okay, so that's my reference image. Now I'm going to click on generate. So I'm really, really curious to see what's going to happen here. That's pretty crazy. So I can see here I had my cap, but you know, the one thing that I want to talk about when it comes to, let's click on use this image so I can explain further. Now, what I've noticed when I go in and choose images, the images are too smooth and they're well polished. They don't look real, right? So that may be a challenge if you want to use people as images on your website. So as you can see here, it's way too polished. I mean, let's save this so we can have a really closer look at this. Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty cool, but you can see it's AI. That's what I'm trying to say. So the question now is, do you want to really use images that don't look realistic? Or this can be used as maybe for mock-up purposes. You could design a website and this could be the mock-up images, which then you can go in later on and take the actual pictures with the reference of what you have or what you've gotten from the AI. Now let's try a few more images. This time I'm going to give it options or give it instructions of what to create. So let's go in and say image. So this time I'm going to click here and I'm going to say generate with AI. And this is going to be a photo. And by the way, you can click on this drop down and choose the type of picture that you want to have or the type of image. So here I'm going to say, so I want to say a fruit bowl outside on a fruit table. Let me see if this is going to really give me the results that I'm looking for. I'm going to say generate. I like this image here. So let's see what it looks like. Now, you know, earlier on when I said that some of these images don't look realistic, well, I think I'm going to take that back because this looks very realistic. So I guess maybe it's going to depend on your searches and how you refine it to come up with the images that look realistic. So yeah, I really like this. I mean, this, I couldn't even tell that this was done by AI. I mean, look at the strawberries, look at the apples. I mean, these look just right. Okay, so the one thing that I really wanted to make sure was working was the fact that all these modules are connected with AI, and it looks like pretty much they're all connected with AI. So even this email opt-in here, if we hover over on the title, we can see we have this AI icon, even here on the description and so on. Even here on the subscribe button, you know, if you click here, you can say write with AI, and this will, you know, pretty much generate your text for your button. So here it's saying unleash your creativity, which is pretty cool. But overall, I would say this is super powerful. Now, if you're a design agency, this is a game changer because all of a sudden now you don't have to spend more money paying copywriters or even chasing up content from your clients, because this is a stumbling block when it comes to designing websites. You can do pretty much a beautiful website, but the text that's going to come, most cases, these clients you're working with, they're not very good at copywriting anyway. So this is going to be a tool that's going to help us, or help all those with Divi agencies or freelance designers come up with the text that's appropriate for the website. And as you've seen in the beginning, AI is integrated inside the Divi builder. So the text that you're going to be generating on the website is unique to that particular website. And I really, really love that. The second thing I like about Divi AI is this is unlimited usage. So this is not going to stop you and say, well, you've generated 1,000 words, therefore, this ends here. You can just go on and on and on and on with it. This is pretty much cool. When it comes to the images, same thing. You can use unlimited images on unlimited websites. And this is going at a 40% off discount. This is crazy. I've already gone in and I've paid my license so that I'm locked in, because now I can make use of all the other Divi websites that I was working on, which pretty much I've put to the side because the idea of coming up with the text was just way too much for me. So Divi AI is a game changer, in my opinion. I'd like to know what you guys think. Is this going to improve your web design process? Is it going to make it better? Comments below. Please let me know in the comments below.